Hi everyone, welcome to my favourite set of videos. Yes, it's another Scryfall Shenanigans, and hopefully I'll find more like this. So with this particular theme for this one, I've picked a set where there were lands at each rarity. More specifically, those rarities each hold a cycle of lands. So I'm hoping over time, as I go through the sets, revisit them when I'm preparing for these episodes, I'll find other sets where there's non-basic land at each rarity. And as a bonus in this episode, we're going to be looking at basic lands as well at the end. So for this episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bit of a helicopter view. We'll go down through this by price, and then we'll look at it through rarity, and you'll see how where the three cycles reside in the different rarity slots. And if we quickly scroll down here, you can see we've got a mixture of stuff. We've got monocolour land, we've got 2-colour land, and then we've got some 5-colour land and some additional utility as well here. So interesting set of lands in Odyssey. And then we've got some nice basics at the end, and I'm going to blow them right up. So we'll have just like two side by side. So we'll focus in on the artwork for those really tightly, I think. But the lovely artwork as well in this set for the non-basics, which we'll also be looking at. So let's go through, and you can see here I've sorted by price in US dollars, and this will give us an idea of what the reprint frequency's been like, if there's any massive differences between what was printed on the card and what the rules text has now been errated to, or if, for instance, there's a version of it being printed now, what that might look like. Okay. So here we have Tarnished Citadel. You can see the generation of the colourless mana has been simplified. And this 1 mana of any colour, Tarnished Citadel deals 3 damage to you. It's sort of, it's got rid of this to your mana pool. That's a given. So this is, $31 in this set. Reprinted once in mystery boosters, and it's the new mystery boosters with the white borders. So we've got Deserted Temple. So this is another one. So with these, you can see both of these are rare, and they're not part of the other 3 cycles of the various rarities. Deserted Temple, another one that taps for colourless mana, and you can pay 1 tap it, untap target land. It's reprinted in Tales of Middle-earth in various treatments, and it's also in Modern Horizons with the original artwork but in a new border. And currently in Odyssey $12.46. Notice the Modern Horizons one is quite a bit cheaper. And also with the Modern Horizons ones, you'll notice they were doing that thing with the set watermarks as well. I don't know whether they didn't do it on those. Then we got Cephalid Colosseum. So this is one of the cycles that were printed at Uncommon. So 553. Also in the World Championship deck from 2002. From the Vault Realms as well, different artwork. And Modern Horizons 3. And again with these, you can see here, takes out the reference specifically to the mana pool. It's just a given. This generates blue mana, but it does deal 1 damage to you. It's got this threshold ability on it as well. So threshold, blue tap, sacrifice Cephalid Colosseum, target player draws 3 cards, then discards 3 cards, activate only if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard. So we'll be looking at the cycle, and we'll be looking at this in a bit more depth, because this was a part of a cycle where they had threshold on them. Petrified Field, another one of these rare lands that wasn't part of a cycle. generates colourless mana. You can tap it, sack it, and return target land card from your graveyard to your hand. It's on the list and in Odyssey for 36. The list version is pretty much identical, apart from you can see that little logo in the bottom left corner there, for those ones that are part of the list. And then this is one of these dual colour filter lands that were printed at rare in the set. Mossfire Valley. So 1 mana of any colour, tap it, and then you get to add red and green together. So 1 mana in, 2 mana out. It's been reprinted a few times, so it is in Fallout, and it was in Murders at Karloff Manor, the Commander product. March of the Machines, Commander, Battle for Baldur's Gate, Commander Legends, New Capenia. You can see it's been in a number of Commander products there, and Commander 2020, which kept the original artwork but just put it in new frames. But you can see there's different artwork as well, a couple of different pieces of artwork, and then there's the sort of Fallout style artwork as well. So 411 in its original form. Cabal Pit, this is the Black Threshold one, 339. Sky Shroud Expanse, the white-blue filter one. And again, you can see that a lot of the Commander decks also turned up in the World Championship deck in 2003. There's the gold borders on that. Dark Water Catacombs, the blue-black filter at rare. Again, so it looks like, the cycle here was turning up in various Commander products. In some, it looks like it might have been in all of them. In a lot of the others, it was just whatever was relevant to the the colour combinations of the particular cycle of deck there. But that's actually quite a few different sets there. You can see, I think most of them bar, what was it? Forgotten Realms, have they maintained? So Forgotten Realms, Commander Legend, yeah, they've maintained that was new artwork. All the others, they've maintained the original one. Crystal Quarry, so this is this interesting sort of Wooburg filter land. So you can take 5 mana of any colour and convert it to Wooburg, but also this can just tap for colourless mana as well. Was in Domineer United Commander, so a lot of these getting reprinted in Commander products. Another one of the thresholds was in that PDS, the Premium Deck series, the Fire and Lightning one, which I've been through on camera, and Modern Horizons 3 did that. Yeah, again, you can see there's the Odyssey watermark on that. Also in the list. Do they all have the original artwork there? 222. Sungrass Prairie, so the green-white filter. Again, look at all the Commander products turned up in. Interesting. I definitely prefer the original artwork, definitely. 205. Shadow Blood Ridge. The filter one for black-red. Yeah, Commander again. And was in the World Championship decks. In 2 different decks, that is. That's why they're those. Because, of course, they're each treated as being different because the signature's different on them. And those ones as well, they have a different backing. They don't have the Magic the Gathering backing on them. Centaur Garden, the green threshold one. World Championship deck. Nice artwork and really pops in the modern frame. That's interesting. Both interesting and... How is that? That's curious. I suppose there would have been a period, wouldn't there, in Magic where it was possible for old border decks to turn up in a period when modern borders had come in. Is that right? Am I thinking about that correctly? And if that's the case, because Odyssey was out in 2001, so Torment, Judgment, then we get Onslaught, which is 2002, and we have Legions and Scourge, and then 8th edition, which was Modern Borders. So I'm assuming, and so that was 2003 July. So if Odyssey was still legal, then when they put the deck together, they must have decided to put them in Modern Borders. Yeah, let me know if you know more about that. I never thought of that before. Okay. Nomad Stadium. What's the white threshold? 34 cents. We're getting a bit cheaper here. Ravage, the red one, 14. Timberland Ruins, the green one. You can see here, these haven't been reprinted. 14. These are all at... Hang on, sorry. Let me wind back there. So the white threshold one is 34, and that's the uncommon. Then we have the commons. Yeah, sorry, these are the come into play tapped, which tap for colour of mana, but then you can tap, sacrifice them, and add 1 mana of any colour. I have to check what these are actually called in terms of the cycle. So yeah, so this explains why these are a lot cheaper. So these are all the common ones, probably down here at the bottom. Yep. One of each colour. Yep, there they are. Bringing up the rear. Uncommon seafloor debris. Interesting. Right, so let's go through them by rarity. So these are all the common ones, and you can see here, so they all come into play tapped. They all generate 1 mana of the specific colour and mana, but you have the option to tap, sacrifice them, and then add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool, if you want to. Nice artwork. We'll zoom this up in a moment. I'm just going to go through and see what they were actually called. Okay, Cycle Odyssey Sacklands. So they were classed as Sacklands. Worse than a Vivid Meadow. So the Vivid Meadow enters the battlefield tap with 2 charge counters on it. And you use those charge counters to add 1 mana of any colour. So it still enters the battlefield tapped. However, it doesn't do anything like sort of blow up when you've run out of counters. So it can carry on generating, in this case for Vivid Meadow, the white mana. And these, for a time, were cropping up in Commander product. Yeah. So we've got Better Than Abandoned Outpost. What does that do? Oh, sorry. I should have gone back one more. I'm thinking, what's that? City of Ass. So that's an uncard, isn't it? 1.5 mana of any 1 colour to your mana pool. Okay. Crepuscular Ray. Interesting. So let's get these a little bit bigger. How big do we dare go? There we go. I mean, obviously we're at the mercy of the scan here, so. Got Ravaged Highlands. And then the Timberland Ruins. Very nice. Out of curiosity, if I go in here and look at Cobra, what have we got? Oh, look. Interesting. Lands with an activated ability that doesn't produce mana don't untap during the controller's untap step. Oh, these ones as well. So some other tap lands, they generate mana of a particular colour, and then you can tap, sacrifice them to add that combination to your mana pool. Interesting, it's been tagged as a cycle land. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's a cycle of, right. Yeah, land cycles as opposed to cycling. A little bit confusing there, I must admit. Okay, now on to the uncommon ones. So another cycle here. What are they calling this? This is the Threshold Pain Land. Right. I imagine these tick quite a bit of boxes because you can see there's a little bit of variety here, or each one's different in terms of the threshold part. So they all generate the specific colour of mana, and then they do 1 damage to you. But then for the threshold, there's a cost attributed to that, and then you attack them, sacrifice them, and you get different things. So the white one, you get 4 life. Now, of course, you can only play the ability if 7 or more cards are in your graveyard, so threshold has to be satisfied. So yeah, the white one's 4 life. The blue one is draw 3 cards, then discard 3 cards from his or her hand. Okay. So what's that? 3 card loot, I think, where you draw the cards before you discard them, as opposed to a rummage where you discard the cards before you draw them. Cabal Pit. So on that, threshold 1 is -2/-2 to a target creature. The red one to damage to a target creature or player. And the black one is just until end of turn, actually. And then the green one, +3/+3 until end of turn on a target creature. And all of these, I must admit, I am particularly fond of the artwork. So we'll finish off with that, but let's just go and look at some of the other tags on here. So yeah, these are going to have sort of unique ones for each of the cards. So this is the life gain one. They're all pain lands. They're all some form of utility land, of which there are many in Magic. Sacrifices self as well. What do we get in terms of top cards they're drafted with? Well, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, other lands. What about synergistically? Oh, just more lands. Okay then, fair enough. Oh, I forgot about, yeah, these as well. So this, we'll compare and contrast those when we get to the rare filter lands. Actually, that would be a good time to do that. So let's cut to the chase. and probably in some ways the main focus of this episode. So every time I do this, I try and make the focus a little bit different depending on the cards that I'm doing. So with land, often I tend to dwell a little bit more on the artwork, but it depends as well what we've got coming up. But yeah, these are nice. And also, I mean, I go on about this quite a bit, talking about interesting little mini collections of things. But yeah, you couldn't go too wrong with a nice little collection of the Odyssey lands. I mean, you're sure there's a few there that are, pretty expensive. But, whoops, hang on. What did I just do there? So that's what's happened when you jump off. Lose, there we go. Yeah, so, yeah, some of the rare ones are obviously a little bit more expensive, but yeah, it's not too bad generally. I mean, now you can I know this is a little bit grainy at this zoom level, but yeah, you can start to really see the detail that's going on here. There's our cephalid. Cobra pit. Barbarian ring. These I imagine, and I don't know, well, it wouldn't have been, would it, at that point in Magic's history, but these are other cards you can imagine. Wouldn't they look super cool in foil? And this is awesome. I don't know, there's something about this. The harder you look, so it starts off straight away. I for some reason I got drawn to the flags here. So if you notice, there's what, blue, black, red, white, but no green flag. But then you start to notice up here we've got some, characters, whatever these are, and then we've got some, I don't know if these are dragons, some flying creature in the background here. Right, I can just imagine that in foil. And I mean, I suppose that's an out for things like I can't remember what they're called, but I can imagine. I wonder if it's ever crossed their minds to do foil versions of non-basic lands as a collection. Say 15 card collection, three cycles of some classic cycle land in foil, and don't mess about with the treatment, just foil them up. Don't do anything fancy with the borders or artwork. Maybe, particularly in borders that they never would have existed in foil, if that makes sense. There's other little touches on this while we're looking in this close. We've got the border here on these is in yellow. We'll see if it's any different on the other ones. But you can see round here we've got the appropriate colour of mana represented around this area. I don't know if there's any differencing in the modelling apart from the fact it's obviously different shades. But there's no, if you remember, like going back in Magic's history with certain cards, I'm talking generally here, but when you're in certain colours, the treatment behind or in the rules text area was different for different colours of mana. And it'd be interesting to look at land from way back, actually, see what they did there. And I do find it fascinating as you move through different border styles and different sets historically, like how the land, the non-basic land, how that changed in terms of the way that they laid out the sort of inner borders and stuff like that. Okay, so let's just get this back to a sensible size, shall we? 175, I think, before we move on. When we've done that, I was just going to check back and see what the most expensive card was. That's what I was trying to do earlier. $31, 12, where do we hit? 5, 4. So yeah, obviously these rare ones, like the two top ones are the rares that aren't part of the cycle, and then we get the third is a threshold cycle one. Yeah, and save up your pennies. Okay, now moving on to rares here, just to show you, I wanted to show, like, so in total there's 9, okay, and then we'll split these down into 2 lots. So we've got the 5 that are part of this cycle, and let's see what the cycle was called. I've been calling them what, filter lands? Yeah, so Cycle of Odyssey filter lands. Mentions, you know, in the same breath as Azoria's Signet, because you have on an Azoria's Signet the same effect, but as part of artifact. And then what you can do is you can obviously go down this mana filter rabbit hole of cards that convert one mana to another, and then specifically, as you can see we've done in the past, you could do, you know, type land, and then that will give you a better idea of let's just do this game. I'll just do the paper ones. 53. So lots of old friends here. I don't know why. It's for some reason I have this fascination with filter lands. And as you can see, like, you get different degrees of power, I suppose, for want of a better word. I suppose that these, at least you can get colourless mana from them. But yeah, it's got some pretty ridiculous filtering going on for the other colours, hasn't it? But I forget about stuff like this, you know, School of the Unseen. This is why I'm very tempted to do a slice and dice, a yearly slice through Magic non-basic lands. I did it for, what was it, Mana Rocks. But it is really tempting to do, just go through all non-basic lands ever printed and look at them like when they first came out in Magic. Yeah, there's some lovely artwork here. There's Crystal Quarry, which we'll see in a moment. And then this cycle. And then some interesting ones here. And of course all of these were filter lands, weren't they, from Shadowmoor and then into Eventide. And then we have some here from, what was it, Amonkhet. That's nice. There's a tricolour one there, actually. Yeah, so this here, you can see the Fallout ones. Also filter lands. Were they, so I'm assuming, and we'll get onto this in a moment. Yeah, we've got, these are allied colours, so the ones down here would be, what, enemy colours, aren't they? I think. Is that right? Looks like it, yeah. Very nice. Yeah, those old ones make me smile. Okay. Cobra. That's why sort of white blue decks. Yeah. As you would. How popular is this in Commander? Oh, 12%. And as I think I pointed out, yeah, look at the amount of times they've been reprinted. So yeah, one for each of the allied, one for each of the allied colours. So let's zoom into this. See what we can see. Again, love the artwork on these non-basic lands in this set. Oh, look at that one. And just take a moment to appreciate the art here. This reminds me of some other artwork. It's an interesting character here. Again, you know, it's got overtones of alien hives. But there's a later card in Magic which has this sort of thing. I wonder if it's gonna, if I go in here, let's just zoom out a little bit so I can see what's going on a bit. I'm going to look under the tagger. Does it, what's that mean? Oh, content of, oh wow. Yeah, again, this is something I don't really go down much, these artwork tags. Azure, I suppose that's just a, oh no, I never thought of doing something like that before. Oh wow, this has opened up a whole area. Oh, look at that air elemental. So, what's the original artwork for air elemental then? Oh, there we go. Did they ever reprint that outside of the starter? So the portal one's pretty reasonable. I really like that actually. Let's look at all the prints here. Release date, sending. What have we got here? Okay, so there's the Classic 6 does use that artwork, as does the Beatdown set, but they are white bordered. We got a 7th edition with different artwork. And so yeah, this is this was the first artwork I was familiar with, which is 10th edition. Wow, the 9th. That's pretty interesting as well. Oh, yeah, of course, this one from Ixalan. Oh, that's what they've done then. So they've done a list version as well of it. Okay. It's also, you can't appreciate this, but I find it really relaxing at the moment looking at this. But I've also got, as I've been doing recently, I got a Slow Dive album playing in the background, coming in through my headphones as well, and playing Pygmalion, and I've got up to the last track, All of Us, as I'm looking at this piece of artwork. Wow, that's lovely. Let's just blow that up a bit, shall we? So cool. Anyway, how the hell did we get to there? Oh dear, I love it when it goes off with a complete tangent. It's like, oh, how did I end up down this rabbit hole? Oh, that's right. I was looking at Azure colours. Wow, that was a cool side hole, side quest to go off down. Okay. Don't want to say anything about the complete cycle. I don't think so, really. Like I said, this episode very much, we're definitely going down the art appreciation rabbit hole. Okay. So these 4 cards. So these are the rares, non-basic land rares that aren't part of a cycle. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm getting a bit too relaxed here, actually. That's the trouble. So Crystal Quarry, add 1 colourless mana to your mana pool, 5, tap, add Wooburg to your mana pool. I like this card, the artwork on here. How much is this? 228. I need that. Would you? I think I definitely prefer it in the old border. Deserted Temple, add 1 colour to your mana pool. 1, use it to tap. To untap a target land. That's 1246. Petrified Field, add 1 colours to your mana pool. So do all of these? Yeah, all of these add 1 colours to your mana pool at the very least. Tap it to sacrifice it. Return a target land card from the graveyard to hand. These have got cool utility on them. This is interesting as well. So it's just showing it's 1 colour of any mana. One colourless mana, but the 1 mana of any colour costs you 3 damage. But those are $31. What the hell is that? What does that crop up in? Yeah, not sure. Anybody that's ever played this, is there any specific deck it gets played in? Yeah. That's strange. Okay. Let's look at some tags before we go down the artwork rabbit hole. So mana filter, it's a rainbow land, of which there are 47 in Magic. This one is interesting, do we? An untap a land. Do we see that much for lands? I don't know if we do. No, we don't. Okay. Okay, it's a mirror of... Oh, because, that's right. It's because Richard and Port taps a target land. Right. Now I remember. Soul Cube, Cobra, Synergies. I see more really nice land here. Yeah, I definitely need to do this episode where I go through and slice by year. Yeah, got to do that. But I think what I'll do first is I will try and find sets where, you know, you're getting cycles, or each of at the very least each of the rarities is populated by a non-basic land. I think I want to do that first before I go through Magic the Gathering as a whole, just so we've got some nice points in Magic's history to say, you know, this point was particularly dense with non-basic lands in this set. Petrified Field. This is this regrowth business where you can regrowth lands, and if you're curious about are there any other lands that do that, well, the answer is no. Not according to the tags anyway. So other things do it, but other lands, that's the only one. Also ticks the box of being like a utility land because it's got this utility feature on it. And if we look at EDHRec, what does that like being in? Okay. Interesting. Are they running more ads there now? Not that that's a problem, but I didn't notice ads in those positions. What about Cube Cobra? Or do we... Oh! Again, this is a great episode if you like... If you're a big land fan like I am, and I know several of long-term friends of the channel, also big into the land. Encroaching Wastes. Oh, there's so devious excavations. I remember the this interesting alt art for Inkmoth's Nexus. I mean, I like the original artwork, but I thought that was an interesting treatment. It's quite different. And Tarnished Citadel. Okay. And of course, Mana Confluence. Again, I don't know, I just get this like welling up of joy when I see like classic cards like this just all together, you know. Oh wow. Isn't that the best thing about, you know, the sort of things that a cube makes you think about? Just your favourite cards for various reasons. Look at the artwork on this. God dear me. Awesome. Oh, Phyrexian Devourer. Wow. Also, Mindbreak Trap has had the future sight or future shifted treatment then recently. Okay. It's interesting, isn't it, how these white border cards they've done have got a completely different look. I'm assuming it's because of this business here with the inner bordering and how that represents. It looks quite different from like old-fashioned white border cards, if you want to call them that. Yeah, gives it a different aesthetic. Right, let's do the ridiculously zoomed-in version of this. So yeah, I love this artwork. This is pretty cool. Looks like something you'd see in an old game. Okay. few individuals there that have been petrified. Oh, some birds here. Do these all have... No, only these two have like a cloud form. I don't know if that's mountains there or clouds. I'm assuming this is clouds of some description. Yeah, I have a thing about clouds, as you probably gathered. Thing about artifacts, clouds, elementals, non-basic lands. That's where it's at. Oh, this is fun. I'm really enjoying this. Such a big smile on my face at the moment. So yeah, this is the EDHRec ranking, just out of interest, because I know we always have a look at this. So yeah, Darkwater Catacombs is up there. I think that's right. Let's just have a look. Whoa, that's a lot of decks. So yeah, a blue-black filter land. But you can see, yeah, it's all topped out here with the filter lands. And we've got that blue threshold land and then these utility lands here. A couple more threshold lands. Crystal Quarry. I'm just trying to think, what would that be good in? I suppose... I mean, obviously, what a 5-card commander deck. Or alongside other cards that do the whole 5 into a different 5 filtering, or 5 into Wooburg filtering. Of course, Reaper King, yeah. So yeah, the 5 colour generals, commanders, should I say? Sword of Notions. Yeah, also anything where you've got 5 colours in the activation cost as well. Some new cards here. That's interesting. What's bringing up the rear here then? Oh, Ravaged Highlands. Mono red. Well, I suppose that makes sense, doesn't it? 405 decks. Only, I mean, I suppose, you know, for those common, that common cycle, there's, you know, there's what strong, you know, better ways of doing it, like the Vivids, really. And then sort of save the best till last. Let me get this actually by colour, not EDHRec ranking. So here we go. Should we do the zoom in? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get two on a screen. Now, not necessarily the best basic lands that are in a set, but I do like the basic lands in this set very much. Look at this. And, you know, in each of the colours, even if you don't like them all, I'm sure you're going to find one land you particularly enjoy. So let me just see if I can pick out my favourite in each of the colours. I do like this. For some reasons, this reminds me of that island in was it The Man with the Golden Gun? Probably looks nothing like it, but that's what springs to mind. know, this is quite nice, sort of old style. Magic the Gathering land. Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe this one, I think, perhaps. Oh, here we go, swamps. Oh, yeah. I think I've said before, this looks like a load of hooded characters, but I'm assuming it's just some sort of outgrowth. Yeah, it's difficult with these. I mean, what would I say? I don't, for some reason, this one I seem to be drawn towards. Oh wow, and these are all quite different. Oh yeah, I know. It's got to be this one, maybe. This, yeah. Either or. I do like this, actually. But the colours here, look at this, and the reflection in the pool as well. Okay, yeah, this is a bit of a classic. Probably this one, I think. Nice full colours there coming through. Oh, that's pretty cool with the path. Any of these really, I don't know. That's pretty nice though. Which are the most vivid ones in here? So that one, swamps, yeah, a bit difficult. I mean, that's probably got the most amount of colour in it. Maybe this one has the most amount of colour, don't know. Different colours. And then here, probably this one. Yeah, I really like this. This one here. Well, there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this one. That was a real treat for me. I'm glad I did this as well. I'm starting to build up quite a number of these Scryfall Shenanigans slices. Actually, every now and again, every evening, I'll suddenly have an idea for something and go and in. So I've got them all sort of as bookmarks under a special bookmark folder. And as I do them, I sort of drag them into the done folder. But the Scryfall Shenanigans ones is the one where I've got the most amount of stuff that I haven't done yet, because I just keep adding to it. So yeah, there's going to be some cool stuff in the future. So thanks once again for watching. Bye for now, and I will catch you in a future episode.